And welcome to a new episode of Philly on Philly Sports. Once again, it's your boy Jamil.
Yo, what's up? I'm Bobby.
What's up, baby? Hey, you know how we do it. Started off right. You know what I mean? Cheers, my
Oh yeah,
dude.
go Birds.
Go. Let's go, baby. Mm. Ooh, goes down smooth. Yeah. All right, man. Look, man, it's that time of the year. It's in August. We already had our second preseason game. It's all
Yes, sir.
birds talk. Birds talk. There's nothing else to talk about. You know what I mean? All right. So, first things first, before we begin to the preseason stuff, we haven't talked in a little bit about some of the off-season conversations we've seen on ESPN, that we've seen on Fox Sports, and even here on the local radio stations, right? There's debates about where Jalen Hurts falls at as a quarterback in the National Football League. Now,
Hmm.
ESPN, Fox Sports, they got him like, 10, right? They got certain players, Justin Herbert, not knocking him, but boy, you ain't do nothing yet, man. Justin Herbert, Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford, just to name a few. And some lists, Baker Mayfield, to name a few. Um, when they came to the top quarterbacks in the league, they had these guys ahead of them. Got them as a tier two quarterback. To be honest with you, I'm not worried. I'm not upset about the tier two, but the people you have in front of them, that's what's killing me. You good? Can you hear me? You.
Yeah, no, I think my headphones died on me. My
All
bad. Sorry. All good.
right, no doubt, no
Um,
doubt.
yeah,
So let me ask you a
no.
question. So, with that
Hmm.
being said, first off, where do you see as far as the top quarterbacks go, right? I'm not going to ask for your top 10 because that's when, once you get to like eight or nine, you start thinking real hard. But your top six,
Like
top
top
six
six.
quarterbacks in the league right now.
Are, are
Where
are
where do
we
you,
are we are we putting them in order or like
yeah,
how we doing it?
yeah, in
All
order.
right.
Yeah.
Well, see, I always like to work backwards with it. So if I'm talking, top six, I would go
So you're going six down to one.
six down to one. Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
good.
Um, I gotta say at number six, I'd probably put um, the kid from Houston, CJ Stroud.
Okay.
I see good promise in him. I think I
Hmm.
think in a couple years, the way they're building around him, I think he could definitely be an elite quarterback.
Okay.
Um, there's a lot of rookie quarterbacks that are in this pool now.
Hmm.
Um, so you really can't say like, oh, this guy's going to be better than this guy because Atlanta's going to have a new quarterback. Whatever the hell's
But he,
happening in
he
New
he played a little
Orleans.
bit. He played last year though.
No, no,
Penix,
no, no.
Penix
But
played.
here's the thing. That's why I'm giving him six because I feel like he deserves to be in the conversation.
Okay.
Um, and then you go to number five. I would
Mm.
honestly go with Jordan Love. I like
Not
the way
mad.
he I
Okay.
like the way he's kind of showing up. To be fair, even as an Eagles fan, that game in Brazil, like yeah, I think he played pretty solid.
Hmm.
Considering he was going against the defense that it became.
Hmm.
But at that time, we didn't know their identity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Number four, this is where it starts getting a little hard. But
Mhm.
I would say number four, I'm going to put Lamar Jackson,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
everybody's going to say, "Oh, why are you putting him so low?" And like, I've
So
just never been a real big fan of his.
I think I know where you're going with this. And okay. Okay. Okay.
And then I'm going to put I'll put him at four. Number three is going to be Josh Allen,
Hmm.
and then I'll put Mahomes. I'm gonna put Jalen Hurts at number two, and
Okay.
Mahomes I'm still gonna put at number one, because and it's crazy to like rank it like that, but
Hmm.
it's just you gotta see what they've done, their accolades, their accomplishments, and I'm
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
saying Jalen Hurts isn't elite caliber by no means, because like the Super Bowl we lost,
Hmm.
he should have won that Super Bowl hands down. That bullshit
He didn't.
penalty is what
You're right.
killed that game.
He didn't. Did he outplay Mahomes? Yes. But the difference
Yes.
is between him and Mahomes is Mahomes was mistake free in that game. Jalen had
Hmm.
that mistake of the fumble, which ultimately was a difference in the game. Okay. I'm not mad at the list. I'm not mad at the list. I'm a little so most
Shocked.
so most of the list had they had Pat Mahomes one,
Hmm.
Josh Allen two, Lamar three, or you can switch those two either way.
Hmm.
Joe Burrow four, Matthew Stafford five,
I mean,
Jared Goff, Jordan Love, and C.J. Stroud and Baker Mayfield. They had these guys ahead of Jalen Hurts
yeah, and
and
and and
Justin
they're, and
Herbert. Sorry.
and they're crazy for that because when you look at Justin Herbert, you look at CJ Stroud, like
Hmm.
these are all decent. They're not bad quarterbacks by no means, but to
No,
put like Goff and Stafford
but
above them, like
but
come on, dude, like Stafford's out the pasture, bro. What's he got? A
bro,
year left?
if
Like, come
if
on,
that
man.
because his back's already hurt, and if you're a quarterback and your back's already hurting in camp, which you're not even participating in, wait till the season starts.
Yeah,
One good
you
hit, you're
start
gonna be
then you
done.
start getting hit. Yeah,
You're
dude.
done.
Like that's I mean,
Yeah.
and that's what I think. That's what a lot of people don't see. They judge. I don't know, man. Like I feel like some of these analysts just like to, what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh man, it's almost like clickbait, bro. You just want to
Yeah,
bait.
exactly. They're
Yeah.
just like, we're running out of shit to talk about because the season hasn't started. There ain't no real big headlines.
And it's the
I
Eagles,
mean,
bro. Like they know the Philly fans were going to be the ones to react to it. What
yeah,
do you
exactly.
mean? You know,
Yeah.
like we are right now. So,
Just
but
get
still,
listen. Give the guy his props. He balled out in the first Super Bowl that we
yeah,
lost, right?
yeah.
Jalen
Hmm.
Hurts. Second Super Bowl, his defense really helped him win that game. I'm not going to sit there and say that he didn't have amazing plays in that game because he did. He had some really good throws. He made a play with his legs,
Hmm.
But ultimately, like when I go back and I look at that Super Bowl, I remember
Hmm.
watching it. Christ, we weren't even blitzing and killing Patrick
But
Mahomes.
see, that's where I gotta stop you at, my man. That's where I gotta stop you at because here's my thing: the defense can play great, and so can the quarterback. Right? The defense played great. That is nothing. That should not, and cannot be an indictment on Jalen Hurts. Right? The
It's
only
not.
So there's only two quarterbacks right now that I can sit there and say it's an indictment on you. And this is the God honest truth. You think about it, what I'm about to say. First one, Trent Dilfer, 2000 Ravens. Out, yeah, they
Trent
won playoff
Dilfer.
games
I
10 to
love it.
9. 10 to 9. That's how they won playoff games, right? They won a bunch of games 10 to 9. That defense, one of the greatest ever, right? Always gonna be talked about that way. One of the greatest ever. Trent Dilfer was carried, bro. He was nothing in that in as far as like a Super Bowl quarterback that had an actual resume that we talked about. The second team where the defense carried them, just being real, was the Broncos with Peyton Manning. When he won the chip with Peyton Manning, when he won that one, he was not Peyton Manning from 2 years ago or 2 years prior to that. He wasn't the
I,
gunslinger, just throwing it all over the place, right?
see,
He was
I got a different outlook on that Super Bowl, but I'll let you
yeah.
finish. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm saying,
That's
but
it.
no, but that defense ran it. Like Peyton Manning did not have a great year. Peyton
No,
Manning was not the sheriff of 2 years ago prior to that with the Broncos. He was not the sheriff of with the Colts. He wasn't slinging that thing all around, right? He had the beat up neck. He had everything else. He had mad surgeries on his neck. He had the injuries. The defense carried him over there. But here to this Super Bowl that we just won, so he had two passing touchdowns. Should have been three because Jahan Dotson's knee went down right before the
that's
end
the
zone.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he had one tush push that ran in there. Saquon only had 57 yards, so it wasn't a
Yeah,
run game,
that's the one good thing I can say. With the Chiefs, they shut the run down, but I
right?
mean, it wasn't. I think, and Mahomes is saying this today, like when he gets interviewed, they went in there with too much of a game plan, and then by the time I just read this that once they got back to simple, it was
Hmm.
too late.
What
So
the
if you
hell is he
got your
talking
ass
about?
kicked, dude, just take this whooping
No,
and
take
enjoy
the
it.
L, dog. You got
Yeah,
punched in the
like come on,
fucking
dog.
mouth. Take the L. But it's like, but Jalen Hurts, he was a part of all that, bro. He only had one bad throw, and that throw, his arm got hit and it got picked when he threw the ball, right?
But then listen, and going back to the end of the game from
Hmm.
Jalen Hurts' mouth direct, defense wins championships. Go watch his post game interview
No, no,
after
no,
the
no. Wait,
Super
wait, wait,
Bowl.
wait, wait, wait. We've been saying that in football since football started. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Defense
I
wins
know. I
championships.
listen. I'm not knocking the guy. Listen. I was very pleased with the way he played because he wasn't playing for stats, bro. He
He
wasn't
never
going
does,
out there
bro.
this past year to to be like I am the be all end all. Which
Yeah.
if you think of Philly sports and you've been an
Mhm.
Eagles fan a long time,
Mhm.
we had one quarterback. I ain't saying
Yeah.
his name,
Yeah.
but one quarterback,
Yeah.
who at one point, all he had to do was get some weapons around him. The one season he got the weapon, and all the shit went south.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
But
we
that's the
we got.
thing, like, and that's what I said before. I said, here's the problem with Jalen Hurts. Here's why Jalen Hurts does not get the respect that he deserves. Jalen Hurts is literally the most unselfish quarterback we have in the league. And here's what I mean by that. He doesn't care about his stats. He cares about W's. So
Hmm.
if you're like, hey, run the ball, I'm gonna run the ball. If you're saying, hey, now we gotta pass the ball, I'm gonna pass the ball. He's not going to sit there and wave off Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, once he left, we found out he was notorious for changing the play call. Doug P. Frank Wright sent a play call in. He's like, nah, I want to throw the ball. It's a run play. Nah, I want to throw the ball. Notorious for that, right? We have a benefit of, I'm tired of people saying, well, he's only good because you got a super team. Well, he was in the playoffs before we had Devontae Smith. He was in the playoffs before we had A.J. Brown. He was in the playoffs before we had this defense. So I don't want to hear that. And I don't want to hear um, because our GM does what a GM is supposed to do,
Hmm.
then now that's a crutch for Jalen Hurts. No, his job is to build a team, a winning team,
Yeah.
right? Because if this was nobody looked at, okay, nobody's looking at the greatest show on turf, right? Nobody says Kurt Warner wasn't that good, bro. Sorry. No, they said Kurt Warner was undrafted. The man was bagging groceries. He's a Hall of Famer now. He wasn't that good. Nobody, so you want to talk about Marshall Falk, Hall of Famer, Isaac Bruce, Hall of Famer,
Ball famer.
Terry Holt was probably, what are you talking about? That's the same shit that Jalen Hurts has. Are you kidding me? But it's a knock on him. Well, they had one of the best O lines in the league. Yeah, thank you. I'm happy we do. What are you talking about? They talk about, well, look at Joe Burrow. Yeah, Joe Burrow could throw for 5,000 yards and is on the couch. And like I said before, when you are throwing the ball that much, it's because you're losing in games. Your
Hmm.
defense is trash. You're losing, so you have to constantly throw the ball.
Hmm.
You don't have to. I'm not going to apologize on a well balanced team, but I'm also not going to allow other people to then, including locals here, to then knock my man down um, as far as where he falls at because he doesn't throw the ball like Josh Allen. He doesn't have to, right? When people sit there and
You got
say,
you literally have the rushing title leader on your team. Like, there's no reason to
you don't
throw
have
the football
he
constantly.
does what he needs to do to win for the team. Think about this: when listen to this a clip at the Super Bowl when they won,
Mhm.
and they say, "Hey man, you're Super Bowl MVP." His immediate response was, "No, I'm a Super Bowl champ. It's team first. It's team first." You know what I mean? So if you ask me, the order, the top five goes Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes still Pat Mahomes. I'm not going to knock him. Like he's still Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen. I'm putting Josh Allen there.
Are you
Um,
are you going 1 to 5 here
1 to 5.
right now?
Yeah, one to
Okay,
five.
all right. So
I
so you
was
got Pat
Pat Mahomes
Mahomes,
one,
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen two, just because I don't care what nobody says. Josh Allen, that's a bad dude, bro. Jo-
Listen, I told you. I think I said it on the last podcast. I'll say it now. If the Eagles play the Bills in the Super Bowl, them cops better be ready, bro.
oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
that
Oh,
the
we're gonna win.
partying,
We're
the
gonna
shit
win.
that's happening in that parking lot is
Yeah,
crazy. We are
yeah,
going to win the Super Bowl. I'm
yeah.
not doubting it at that point.
Mhm.
But just I mean, listen, there's going to be a Bills fan going through a table, not
Yeah,
by himself. An Eagles fan's
yeah.
going to put him through it. Just put
And
it that
look at
way.
this though. Josh Allen has more rushing touchdowns than Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson. Think about that. More rushing touchdowns than Jalen Hurts. And that's a bad dude. Like he got a cannon, accuracy. He can throw the ball, run the
He,
ball.
he's a bad dude, but
Yeah.
Mahomes is his kryptonite, dog. Like that's
You know what? He's not. I keep telling people this. I have a cousin of mine who's in Atlanta. He's a Chiefs fan. And I told him, I said, Josh Allen didn't lose to y'all. Josh Allen's defense lost to y'all. He did his job every time. It was nothing that Josh Allen ever did that lost them the game. He didn't throw the, he gave y'all a ball back with 13 seconds. The defense needs to make one stop, at least keep you out of field goal range. One stop. They couldn't do it. You know, and that's why I put Jalen Hurts third because, and I got Lamar Jackson four. The reason why I have Lamar Jackson four is simply because, um, yeah, you can look at the two MVPs that he has, outstanding. But when the lights shine the brightest, it's not there. Everybody talks about, well, Andrews dropped the ball and we could have tied the game up in the playoffs.
I mean, yeah.
But everybody forgets about the first half where Lamar Jackson looked like ass. Let's be real, right?
I
They
mean,
forgot about that first half.
and I just remember, and this goes back. I was at the local bar like in my neighborhood. I went with
Mm,
like some of my customers. We were watching the Ravens game when the Eagles played the Ravens last season, and
yeah,
everybody's like, oh, Cooper DeJean like made that big ass hit.
yeah,
But there's one thing that sticks with me, and I don't know if any other Eagles fan peeped it. So
yeah,
I'm very curious to see what people say, maybe in the comments of this one. Um, when the Eagles were down in that game,
yeah.
and I want to say it was like the first or second quarter. I'm trying to remember. I was a little tuned in, so
Hmm. Yeah, I
sorry.
was at a baby
Um,
shower.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah, you gotta love it when you miss games for that stuff.
Oh
But
no,
that
no, the
that
TV was
that's
there. Believe that.
that's
The
a
TV
whole
was
that's a
there.
whole nother debate. Women dragging you out the house on Sundays, craziness. All right, but I just remember seeing Jalen Hurts' face on the sidelines
Hmm.
when they were down.
Hmm.
And I just looked. There's so much focus and
Hmm.
poise, and
Hmm.
he epitomizes what a leader is in the city of Philadelphia. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that's the guy I want running that offense. I want that dude that's cool, calm, and collected.
yeah,
Now, are there times I want that energy and that fight out of him? Yeah, and there's times he shows that. In that
yeah.
in the Rams playoff game, the Packers playoff game, he showed that he could be that guy that's ready to. And what I love about it all? He's not sitting here dwelling on this ring. He's not like, oh yeah,
He
we're
he he,
champs.
he won't even wear it. He's
Nah,
never
he's
put
like,
it
yeah,
on.
I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah, he's never put it
I
on.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that. That's mentality. That's like, it's over.
Hmm.
Yeah, drop the banner against the Cowboys.
I
Can't
was
wait
gonna
for that.
say, so the whole team. So we can start going into that real quick. Let me round off my top five.
Yeah.
So, and again, I put Jalen Hurts because he shines when the lights are brightest. Mahomes
Yeah.
or Jackson doesn't. Until he
Hmm.
does, that's where he's gonna fall.
Who's your
And
fifth
at
QB?
fifth QB,
Yeah.
my fifth QB right now, it was Matt Stafford. When I look at the rest of the field, because it's a toss up between three: Matt Stafford, Joe Burrow, or Golf. I'm going to put Golf there just because Matt Stafford right now. I don't know if he's going to make it through. Burrow, you got to make it to the playoffs for me, bro. You know what I mean? For better or for worse, hey, Golf don't get hurt, bro. He's there. He's going to be there. Last 2 years, he's had their team in either number one or number two seed in the NFC. So I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Like he's busting his fucking ass. It's not his fault that they had 12 starters out,
Hmm.
all last year. So
I mean, and to be fair, like if the Lions had their secondary against the Commanders in the
yeah,
playoff game,
don't
I
get me
think
started on
I
that.
think it's I think it's Eagles Lions in that
What-
NFC title
All
game.
right, let me. All right, see. Now you're taking down this whole. I just had this conversation yesterday again with a cousin of mine in Atlanta, and I told him a couple of things that he didn't want to hear. I said everything I always say is right. I'm Mr. Football. It's the reason why. And I sat there and said, he said, y'all should be worried about the Commanders next year. I said, for what, bro? For what? I said, what did they do? Let's take a whole scope of
As
this
soo-
thing,
as soon as they started getting blown out, that game
bro.
was over, bro.
Bro, hold on. Before that, let's
Took
take
that
a
man's
whole look at the
soul.
entire season, right? So, yes, did they go further than anybody expected? Absolutely. Did I say Jordan Daniels or Jaden Daniels was going to be the better quarterback in that draft? I did. Did I say he'd be better than Caleb Williams? Yes. Did I predict that the Vikings have a better record than the Bears? I did. Easy money, right? Now, but what people forget is the Redskins or the Commanders had the easiest schedule in the division, your last place schedule, right? When they beat us, they love talking about when they beat us. When they beat us, they forget, and this is no excuse. But Jalen Hurts went out on the first drive of the first quarter,
Yeah,
right?
concussion. Yep.
They ejected CJGJ with still no reason why, right? And
Hmm.
people forget Kenny Pickett came in and
And bald.
balled, and Washington had to come back to beat us. Then they
Yeah.
had everything, right? Then you fast forward. I called it from the get-go. I said Washington will beat Tampa Bay. They're going to beat them. They did. Now I thought that Detroit would beat Washington, but they didn't. They were down 12 players,
Yeah,
right?
that's that
12
that that, that
starters. Sorry.
that's what I'm saying. And
That's what.
that chimes
So
into
when
what I
they
said.
so
Like,
when they come to Philly to face a fully healthy team, they lose by 32. Get out of my face, that nonsense. I'm supposed to be worried about who? And they done nothing to really to help their squad, bro. They brought in old Debo Samuels. He's guaranteed to miss 3 to 4 games every year. He does.
mhm.
Old Debo Samuels. You didn't sign McLaurin yet. The old line still the old line. I think you got one old lineman. Who are you going to stop on our defensive line or any
And
defensive line for that matter?
just to chime in on that, I don't know if you seen my man Jahad Campbell yesterday, but I didn't watch the full game. But the way he came in there, boy, whoo,
I
he's gonna be a
I didn't look for
problem.
Jahan Campbell. I didn't care. Oh, Jahan. I'm thinking about Jahan Dotson. Jahan Campbell. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, 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 yeah. Jahan Campbell. I like the way he looks. He can play. He can play the middle. He can play the outside. So he can rush as well as run defense. I like that. I like my man Andrew Makuba yesterday. He's
Yes,
he's right. Remember, I
called it.
told you. I
I
said
just want to
Andrew
say
Makuba is
I called it
CJGJ,
too,
bro.
though. I said I
I
love
said
him. I
I
think
said he's
he's
CJGJ
great.
where he just wherever the ball is, he just happens to be there. There's no reason on a run play that didn't get past the line of scrimmage that the safety came down and got that ball. There's no reason for it. He just finds the ball. Wherever the ball
Yeah,
is, he is.
but Cleveland's still Cleveland, bro. Even though we took an L
It's
in the
not that. It's just
preseason.
I'm looking at the ball instincts of it. Like, what do your instincts say, right? Because, like I said, I like Sidney Brown, but Sidney Brown is an uncontrolled missile, bro. He's been that way. This is what his third season now in the league, or second season, second. No, last year was his second season, so this year is his third.
This coming up on the third. Yeah,
His third season. So I like him. He'll love to run down and smack somebody, but it needs to be controlled because he'll also miss a tackle because he's looking to go kill somebody instead of being disciplined, breaking down and making a tackle.
and I'll
Um,
be honest with you, like the killing people hits, dude, ain't gonna work in today's NFL. The refs
oh,
are
it
too
does.
all over it.
Well, no, well, it does work if you know how to do it right. Um,
Yeah,
but you gotta be controlled with it. If you're not controlled with it and you're launching yourself, that's the problem. He's launching like how Big Dog used to do. The Big Dog go
yep.
flying through the air. You're right. You're 100% right on that. You can't do that
Like
in this today's league.
Brian Dawkins probably be honestly kicked out of the league
I don't
in
think so.
today's league.
So I had this argument with my son actually. He was like, "Yeah, um, guys back in the day can't play today." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because all the rule changes." I was like, "If they play today, then these are the rules that they've always known. They don't know anything else." I
Yeah.
said, "But athleticism and talent doesn't go away because of a rule change." Like, you know what I mean? So I said, "Nah." But but yeah, but it definitely certain guys like Dawkins, Ray Lewis, a couple of guys when they John Lynch, you know what I mean, Ronnie Lott, when they hit you, it was time to go meet Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
The best,
Straight,
dude, I always talk about the interview, man, because Brian Dawkins, like probably one of my favorite Eagles all time. I
he's
put
mine,
him
yeah.
up there with Brian Westbrook. They're like my two, because I
No,
watched them play. You know, I was a
yeah.
kid growing up watching those guys play, and they just stuck with me, man. I always loved it, and I just remember the interview with Takeo Spikes on
I was gonna say that's the best. I want to
Spikes, I
take his
want to take his
soul.
soul. Dog. Like, what? How do
Yeah,
you react to that? Imagine lining up in the huddle next to this man and he says that. What do you
yeah,
do?
yeah.
What do you do?
It reminds me of you ever see the movie the program?
Nah,
So
maybe. I don't know.
it's an old football movie or college football team. It's like East uh Carolina or something, I mean, or East Michigan or something like the Eastern Michigan, one of them schools, right? But the one of the linebackers is to get himself hyped. He always like makes up shit. You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, he's like, talking to the running back. Oh, you the motherfucker who robbed my mama. Oh yeah, like he starts getting so hype. It starts going, and the other guy's like, I didn't rob your, I love your mama. I don't know your mama. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Like you know what I mean? And that's what it kind of reminded me of with B Dog. He was like, oh, I'm gonna take it. So I said, man, that was the coldest line. And I'm glad the Keo told the story because the way he told it was perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we got about 10 minutes left.
Yep. I know.
So
Time flies when you're having
plus,
fun.
so look, so my thing is, so we still got one more preseason game, and then we get a regular season. Once we get to the regular season, then we're really going to, jump in, dive in, because it's still a preseason. I looked at the team itself. The main issue for me is the opposite corner of Quinyon Mitchell. I'm glad they brought in Jacorius Bennett because obviously Keely Ringo was not it. He was not
Mhm.
it. Um, um,
I mean, I think Fangio's got a good plan though. I'm not too worried about it. I think he's going to float corners and safeties around.
well,
Like if
he's
you
moving.
get
They got Quinyon. He's wherever the number one goes, he goes.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's fine. But that's what I would expect. First round draft pick. You
yeah.
knew he was going to come in to replace Darius Slay, and
But here's the
Darius
thing.
Slay
I
had
think
him under his wing
we
like the
should. I
whole year.
mean, one more year, bro. One more year. We could have kept one more year. I don't care. Like, I think he would have took a pay cut for one more year because he loved being here. You know what I mean?
I don't know,
Um,
like, and that's how I feel with Gardner Johnson too, bro. Like I
no, no,
feel
no,
like
no, no,
these
no. He got hurt again, bro. I swear. I felt the same way you did, and then he got hurt again. I said every time the Eagles let him go, he gets hurt for the fucking season, like wherever team he goes to. You know what I mean?
he can only play here and be successful.
Yeah,
Dude just gotta take the pay cut and stay with
yeah.
the Eagles, bro.
Well, he went
He
to what? He went to
listen,
Detroit
he's a
last
Philly
time,
cat.
like tore a
He
pec.
he yeah, dude, he looks like the type of dude I see down North Philly, bro. No, right? Like
Oh, I love me some
honestly.
CJ. Yeah, yeah, I love me
Yeah,
some
like
CJ.
he's a nut.
North,
Like
no, I think CJ's more of a he is Southwest type dude, like real shit. He is
yeah.
Southwest type dude. Yeah, yeah,
but but all in all, man, listen, I don't knock the guy. I think I get a little pissed at him because when he leaves the birds, he goes and talks shit. But I
he do.
mean, I expect it out of him. It's the type of dude he is.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not going to hold it against him. My prediction for the Eagles this year is very simple. I think the O line has to stay healthy.
Of
Saquon
course.
and Jalen have to stay healthy,
Mhm,
obviously.
mhm.
Um, and the defense, I think, we're probably going to have some growing pains. I ain't going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they're going to be lights out from the first game. I mean, I want them lights out because we're playing the Cowgirls, but you know, that's a whole nother story in itself because Dak's all over social media already, Mr. God mode, thinks he's God again, like he's the
Yeah.
second coming of I don't know.
Well, he also said he's going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can't wait.
can't even
Dude
sign
says
their
it
best
every
player.
year, gets
Hmm.
hurt,
I guess
or
he has to,
he
right? He has
flops.
to. He
Yeah,
has to. You know.
that's what Cherry wants him to say, bro.
Yeah,
Come on.
he went. I mean, I get it though. As a competitor, as a player, like, yeah, I'm here to win championships, right? Um, Never heard Jalen Hurts say that. Never heard
Don't
Tom
have
Brady
to.
say it.
They ain't gotta
Never
say
heard
it,
Pat
bro.
Mahomes say it.
The actions speak louder than words, bro.
Yeah,
It's an old saying, and it's the truest with the goats of football. You
yeah.
know,
So we're gonna yeah. I just want to see what the corner gonna look like. I think Jacorius Bennett can be there. Um, Everybody else are just role players, to be real with you. Ja'Cory Jackson from the Giants. Clearly, he's a role player because we traded for Bennett from the Raiders, who started last year. Did pretty damn well too. You know what I mean? But um, I said from the get go, I wasn't worried about the D line at all. I love me some Ty Robinson. I really do. I think if you put Ty Robinson next to Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis, he's going to make plays. He's going to make plays. I love me some Ty Robinson in that middle. I do. Um, I like Makuba at the safety. The one person I don't want to see was the one person I didn't want to see last year at safety was McCullum. I just he's lost so many times, bro. I'm like, where are you at?
I think you'll have something good with Makuba, and I think you have something good with Blankenship. So if
Mhm.
you got those guys playing safety, and then I heard they're using Cooper DeJean kind of as like a nickel corner, possible safety
Yeah.
options. He's taking snaps there. I trust Vic Fangio, bro, and I'm gonna back Fangio really hard because he
Hmm.
took guys that were floundering on other teams like Zach Bond, and he made them like superstars, bro. Like
Yeah,
it sometimes takes a good coach to unlock the potential of a player, and I think that's what he was able to do with this 2024 Eagles D.
yeah,
Um, and another thing I like about Fangio is you see him in the press conferences. He's shooting it straight, bro. He's like a Dory Jackson, ain't looking like it, bro.
yeah,
Like he's not saying it like that, but you can
yeah.
tell by his body language, the words he's using, his tone.
Well, he
He's
said it
not cutting the
last year
mustard.
with Huff. He's like, he's not picking it up. He's not where he needs to be.
Yeah,
He
like
had
dude, it's
no qualm
crazy.
saying that.
Yeah, and then Bryce Huff wants to sit there and say, "Oh, I don't think I was just given the opportunities and the scheme." Listen, dude, you didn't fit his scheme. He wants to build that defense around the scheme that he knows. And here's the thing: 1 year with the Eagles, and he won a Super Bowl. So the scheme must
Yeah.
not be bad. Just
Well,
saying.
he went to the Niners, would go back with his old buddy. Um, what's the boy's name? Greg Mazzulli. What's the Jets coach that got fired?
Who knows? It's the Jets, bro. Come on.
No, everybody knows the guy. He's I forget his name, bald headed dude,
Yeah,
but he was
yeah,
the
yeah.
Niners DC for a while. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Not Robert Saleh, because
Yeah,
Saleh
yeah,
was their
yeah.
head
Robert
coach.
Saleh. That
Oh,
that
it's
was
him.
it. Yeah,
Oh,
Saleh.
okay. All right.
He's back with Saleh because Saleh's back at the Niners as a DC again. That's cool. I just don't. I'm okay, man. I feel like the defense is going to be better off than people think it's going to be. I'm looking at this preseason games. I just want to see who is going to make the team, who should make the team.
Hmm.
Um, Cooper should make the team. I think it's going to be tough between Cooper and Smith because
Yeah,
they both been doing pretty well. Um, Everybody keeps talking about how Cooper is like Debo Samuel's 2.0 type deal. So if you can have like more packages set for him than an
yeah.
Iron Smith, then I get it. But I think they both should make the team in one way or another, whether it's the practice squad or actually on the field. Um, Besides
What's
that, man,
your
I don't
what's your take at the running back position? Because we've
look
seen
at
some of AJ Dillon. Obviously, we got Saquon.
and we got
What's
my
your
boy
take on
Shipley.
Shipley?
I like
You like
Shipley.
him?
I liked him
Yeah.
when he came out last year. Only problem was I said, bro, you got to work on your speed. Boy, you got hawked last year. At he broke it for was like 50 yards or something and got hawked at like the 2 or 3 yard line. So, um, but I like Shipley though because he's not a threat. He's not going to be the guy that's going to come in and nobody's going to be chanting for Shipley if Saquon doesn't have a great day. Just not
Hmm.
right.
Yeah.
But he's definitely he's a better pass catching back than
Hmm.
Saquon is, and so is Dylan. So I like that, and Dylan can also run. So if he does
Hmm.
need a break, we're not losing the power portion of it. I'm not saying about the speed, but the power portion of it. It reminds me of oh damn, what's his name? Running back we had for a while. Shit, he was we got him from the
What?
Bears. He always wore the visor, the dark visor. Um,
How long ago we talking?
Nick Foles time, like Nick Foles and then we're talking about like 18, 19. Oh man, what's his name? What's his
His
name? What's
name.
his name?
I know who you're talking about. He was like kind of like a big body, like
Yeah, big
bruiser
body
type.
type, but he was like,
Yeah.
he when Miles Sanders couldn't get you, you had more trust in him than Miles Sanders to get you a 3rd and 1, right? Or a Boston Scott. Um, damn, it's gonna come to me. I keep want to say Jordan Davis, but that ain't it. That's Jordan Davis is the freaking D tackle. It's it'll come to me later. The point is,
Yeah.
um, with Dylan though, you're not gonna he has some speed. He's not Saquon speed, obviously, but you got power. You're not gonna lose the power portion of it. So if you need to run a power play, you need to run up between the guards, you can, without missing a beat. That's what I like. So and I said this to my cousin. I said, look, the Eagles right now are built like a college football team. I'm an Ohio State fan. And so Ohio State football, one of the things always, we don't rebuild, we reload. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And our college football team, it's just like Alabama, all the great ones, they don't rebuild, bro. It's just the next man, and we have enough on this depth. We make sure that we have enough. If we like this style of running back, we have 2 or 3 more on a damn depth chart. You know what I mean? We got the senior, and then we got some freshmen and sophomores ready to go. Same
Yeah.
thing with O line, all the skill positions, and that's where we're at, bro. Like I'm looking around, like where I don't see
A weakness.
where's the biggest drop off, right? If you want, and I'm not talking about like, oh, let's, you know, the locker room guy or the guy, who gave the best speeches. I'm like, on the damn field play, where is the biggest drop off? I've been waiting. I don't see it.
I
Same
mean,
thing.
I mean, like I said, like you touched on, the corners could be an issue because we got to see who that second guy is going
That's
to
it.
be.
That's it. The corners. That's it.
But
That's it.
but we have. It's a long season.
Hmm.
Somebody will emerge,
Hmm.
because the talent's there. It's got to be
Yeah.
unlocked. Like I said
Yeah.
with Fangio. So once that happens, I think the Eagles are a threat again, dude. I don't. Here's the thing. It's crazy to say this, but it's almost like an expectation at this point. All right, you won two. Can you do the
Hmm.
third?
Right.
You know.
Right. Let's
Um.
we got about a minute, about 2 minutes left.
Yep.
Here's what I want to do. Let's
Yep. Okay.
so again, the last preseason game is this week, right? And then we get prepared for the fourth, right?
Thursday night, baby.
You
Dallas
know it.
Cowboys.
Banner night. So let's meet up, same place, same time next
Mm-hmm.
week.
Yep. 100%.
Let's do season predictions on schedule.
Yep.
All right. And then I want to talk about a little convo that I had with I told you my cousin is a Chiefs fan. He got offended when I said Andy Reid is doing to you guys what he did to the Eagles for years. The difference is you guys won your Super Bowls first before this. And what I meant by that was their receiving core.
Mm-hmm.
You brought it up earlier. We had no receiving core, Pinkston, Thrash, Bums. Then we got T.O. We go to Super Bowl. We don't
Mm-hmm.
win it, but we went to four NFC title games before we won one,
Yep.
right? And I said, the problem is, I said with him, I said, you guys have not done enough to put enough receiving core wise around Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes, but we're still going to Super Bowls. I said, because he's that damn good. I'm just being
Yeah.
real. Pat Mahomes is just that damn good to where he
Pat
has,
Mahomes is like, give me chicken shit. I'll make a
yeah.
chicken salad, bro.
Hey, you dig it? You dig it? All right, man. So we'll link up again. But once
Yep.
again, we got to end it how we started. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm good.
All
Finishing it
right,
out.
here we go.
Sure.
My man.